Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, Rich Diva. This channel is dedicated to find ways to financial freedom by finding means to acquire money, save money, and multiply money. So please subscribe, like, and share this video.
Money doesn't have to be this thing that's bad. It doesn't have to be this thing that everyone tells me what I can't do. No lattes, no jeans, no nothing. I can actually use it. And if I want to fly business class, I can. If I want to buy something really nice for my parents, I can. And you start to almost open up your life and realize, oh, money's not holding me back. It's actually amplifying what I really want to do. If you have been successful, if you followed a program, whether it's my program or anyone's program, you've invested, you've saved, you now have new challenges. And your biggest question is, what's next? Like I won that game of personal finance. What's next?
I'm not in debt.
I'm not in debt, so 99% of advice doesn't apply to me. And then you start to say, what's next? Am I missing something? And finally, and what I think is actually a highly advanced question is, what do I do with this money? And this is a key thing I want everybody to pay attention to. Everyone teaches you how to save money, but almost no one teaches you how to spend it. So what do high earners do with their money? Why do some people spend money on business class? Take a look at your spending from the last 2 to 3 months and ask yourself, what is my money dial? And your money dial is the thing that you love to spend money on. It's the thing that gives you joy. And it's the thing you could spend endless amounts of time optimizing.
And feel good about it.
And so the reason, once you know your money dial, then it enables you to do two really cool things. One is you can cut back on stuff you don't care about. Okay, so if you just don't care about wellness, or if you just don't care about travel, that's okay. You can cut the spend to that. But I think the cooler thing is it allows you to take that money and now spend extravagantly on the thing you love, which is your money dial. So if you're Lewis, suddenly you don't mind throwing a lavish dinner for your friends with a performer and all kinds of crazy stuff because that's your money dial.
Yeah.
No need to apologize for it. So for everyone, especially the advanced folks who have money, you got to think now you're at a different level. You're not just trying to cut your debt. You're not just trying to cut back. You actually can spend on the things you love. And that to me is really exciting. You wouldn't believe how many entrepreneur friends I know who have a good business and they don't invest at all. And that's a huge mistake.
What should you be investing in if you have a good business?
Simple, low cost, target date funds is a great way to go. Entrepreneurs,
index funds?
Yeah, index funds.
Yeah.
They get a little too smart for their own good. They say, I could just put that money in my business. And I always say, look, I'm glad you have a business that's throwing off tons of cash. That's awesome. Most businesses don't last 80 years. Yeah. So be smart. Give yourself a small plan B. Put $5K a month, $10K a month, whatever's appropriate for your level of success. And hey, maybe your business does really well. That's awesome. But maybe one day something goes wrong. Always want to be prepared. You never want to have your back against the wall. So I just want to encourage everybody, whether you're making $250K or $2.5 million for the high earners here, don't get too smart for your own good. Keep investing and saving. Once you have a certain amount of capital, you do have a few opportunities that you probably didn't have before. Everybody has this idea that, the rich have all these crazy tax breaks and captive insurance and this and that. And I've looked into all that stuff, right? I know
building
about
insurance companies and all these other things, right? Yeah.
Here's the truth. The truth is,
some stuff is a little sketchy, but yeah.
Definitely. And I'll say my core values are that when it comes to things like taxes,
I love your principle on this.
I'm very conservative. I'm like, dude, only in this country could I have been this successful.
I love this mindset. Yeah.
I'm happy to pay my taxes. It means that I had the opportunity to create something great. And if I pay an extra $5,000 or $30,000, it doesn't change my life at all. And I want to be able to give back to the society that enabled me to do what I do.
That's a powerful mindset. And it gets you away from, you still want to optimize tax breaks that are out there, but it gets you away from trying to constantly look for some of the shortcuts or like schemes or something.
Yes, I've always found that the people, especially entrepreneurs who talk about tax breaks all the time, are typically the most unsuccessful ones.
Wow.
2 reasons. One, why are you talking about tax breaks instead of growing your business?
Yeah.
And 2, it's a very scarcity-driven mindset. Ooh, I only have this much that I have to protect, when really you can just grow the pie and your taxes are simply a proportion. Just make more. Now, yes, you do want to optimize and take advantage of all legal tax. As you accumulate more and more assets, you're going to start to notice a lot of different people are going to come with opportunities. As you start to accumulate a lot, you're going to want to have a little fun with your money when it comes to investing. So 5 to 10%, once you've got all your other stuff automated, you've got your index funds locked down, HSA, your different accounts. I don't have any problem. I think you should take 5 to 10% and you should have some fun with it. For me, I did angel investing. And I basically learned that I suck.
Yeah,
my angel investing is not good.
I haven't made any money from investments.
My deal flow sucks. My choices were okay. Some hit, most didn't. I basically just wrote that money off. But it was fun, and it allowed me to have an outlet.
And you learned. And
I learned.
You got to meet people, and
Yeah. So if you want to do crypto, if you want to invest in somebody's bar, you want to do angel investing, if you're qualified, etc., be my guest. But don't jump to that first. Get all your stuff automated. And at a certain point, the compounding is so insane. You will start to actually earn more from your investments than you will from your income, even if you're making $500K a year. You've got your 6-month emergency fund, you've got your investments automated on autopilot, and you still have money left over. You're in an awesome position. And now you can do a couple of things. One, if you want to keep growing that money, you can simply invest it in a non-retirement taxable account. And that money will grow like crazy. If you're putting in 10, 20K a month, that money will turn into massive amounts. And you can, if you guys don't believe me, just go search for compound interest calculator. Bankrate has a really good one, and plug in 20K a month for 10 years. And that's it. Just stop and watch what happens as that money grows.
7 or 8%?
Yeah, at 7% returns, and watch what happens.
Right.
It becomes like a tsunami. You cannot stop it. So that's one. The other thing is, if you want to invest in a little bit of fun stuff, if you're like, hey, I want to take 10% of this and invest in like this crazy investment, my buddy's starting a thing, go ahead. Just be prepared to write it off. Maybe it works, maybe not. And then from there, you should also remember a third thing, and nobody really talks about this. Maybe it's time to increase your quality of life. Maybe instead of staying in the middle back seat, it's time to upgrade to the exit row.
Right. Or business class.
Business
or
class. Or maybe it's time to eat at a different restaurant. Maybe it's time to really think about your money dial and say, hey, I always claim that wellness is important, and yet I'm still eating like the same old thing I used to eat 10 years ago. Maybe it's time to upgrade what I eat and where I work out and all that kind of stuff, my gear. You can do that. Yeah. You've made it. You already won the basic game. So now you get to benefit from it.
Why is it hard for us to talk about money? Why is it scary? Yeah. Why don't we talk about it enough with our friends, our family? Why is that?
There's one great study showing people would rather talk about their sex lives than their amount of credit card debt.
I love that.
I think that's totally true.
It's true.
100%. And think about what money means. It means that you were successful in this culture. And I am here, people know me as the I will teach you to be rich guy. And I have always said money is an important but small part of living a rich life. Just because you make more or less doesn't mean we're better friends. Not at all. It has nothing to do with that. But it is important for people to be in control of their money, whether they're making $15 an hour or $15,000 an hour. And there are people I know who make that. So that just simply shows, are you in control of your life at whatever level you are? It's embarrassing for people. They're never taught this. And then suddenly they graduate and they're supposed to know what tax withholding is. Yeah. Nobody taught it to them. So my goal here, the reason I'm talking about this, is for people to feel more confident about their money, for them to take control, and for them to stop being afraid and listening to random people giving them advice. If you've got debt, pay it off. Pay it off aggressive. Follow the steps. It's almost like a waterfall. It just goes from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, and your money's going where it needs to go automatically, and you will feel great. You'll feel great, which is so important. And also, you're going to look at your accounts and see debt's going down. Investment and savings are going up. And all of a sudden, you wake up 6 months from now, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize I have that much saved in my savings account. That's because of the decision you made today.
Let's say you're, working a job, making decent money, but you're not really breaking through and you're struggling to earn more to get out of that 50K a year type of range, maybe around there. And all your friends are making the same amount. All your peers are in the same boat. And everyone's stressed about money. And you hear someone say, well, you may earn the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yeah. Should they cut all those 5 friends out of their life? Because my peers are holding me back. If they're having those negative conversations, or how can they start to level up.
Yeah.
Without cutting people out of their life.
Yeah, I never encourage anyone to cut off their friends. And I think that's a common misconception, that you have to close all the doors to your friends. Look, I've got friends from high school, junior high, that I still hang out with. And I'm not judging them based on their bank account. I don't even know how much they make or how much they're worth. That's not why I'm friends. But the average of the 5 people you're surrounded with, that is a very powerful idea. And instead of closing the door on the people you hang out with, why not open the door to some new people? Why not find people who go to your conference, for example, or who are on my site, people who are ambitious, who have gone through these programs, and say, you know what, can we set up a weekly check-in? It could be 5 minutes, it could be over text, but let's set up this check-in and just say, what'd you want to do last week? Did you execute? Why or why not? Every week, 9 a.m., Monday, let's do it. That's how you suddenly meet a group of people who are unapologetically ambitious. And that will change everything for you, because instead of having to drag people to these self-development conferences and they say, that's weird, I don't want to do it. The people you actively seek out are going to be like, yeah, I'm in, let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah.
And that's powerful.
Yeah, so find the new communities that you can have these conversations with.
Yeah.
And don't cut everyone out of your life, but just start having those conversations with people that are more aggressive.
Yeah, like, do you know what I told people to do on my Instagram account? So I told people it's important to find other people who support you. A lot of you are waiting around for some like millionaire to fall out from the sky and invite you to their private group. It's never going to happen. Never. Instead, why don't you start it yourself? And I said, go into my comments, write who you're looking for, and then invite someone to join you.
I like that.
You don't need to wait. No one's coming to rescue you. It's not a Disney movie. Nobody's coming. It's only you. So take control and go find someone and then build that together. I like it.
3 principles or truths for the world on anything, life, anything.
Wow. Okay, my first one would be you can create a rich life through planning and unconventional choices. My next one would be that you've got something to say and the world needs to hear it. And the third one would be you could probably eat spicier food than you think. I guarantee that.